being in pleasure and being present in your body, and how to cultivate that, especially with your relationship when it's hard for you to feel like in the mood, or you're go, you're busy all the time, and it's hard to to switch over from that going into that like flowy state. And so I want to start off by talking about the two different things. And so, when we are go and do it, that's more of like this masculine energy, which is fantastic for getting things done. But this like sensual energy, this feminine energy of being in flow and feeling into sensations and like noticing different textures and things like that, being creative, right? Like that's a different sensation, and it's very, very possible for you to like move in and out between the two, to weave in and out of the two. And so I want to walk you through this practice right now of really connecting with your sensuality and feeling like that pleasure and being present in your body. So that way, I know that you're very good at being in the masculine and doing things and cultivating this other part of yourself and being able to practice and flow in between the two. Gosh, it just really makes your day so enjoyable. You're doing things, but you're also like dropping into really noticing like how beautiful things are, and when with your partner you get to choose to take a moment longer. So you might have already experienced those times where you're doing things, you're like getting the kids' lunches together, you're folding laundry, you're trying to hurry and get out the door, these things, and maybe like your partner wants to kiss you or hug you or something, and you're okay with it for a second, and then you're quick to like, okay, I need to move on to what I was doing. But I want to challenge you the next time that this happens to just stay a little bit longer. Just stay in this feminine, this like moment where nothing else matters, where you just get to stand there with your partner. And it might be uncomfortable at first, but I want you to just kind of stretch it. Like wherever your edge is there, just go a little past that and see what happens. And as you continue to do this, you're just like retraining yourself. And so I challenge you to do that, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and drop into the body. And so if you want to put on some music, or if you just want to sit here or stand, like notice what would feel good for you right now to get into your hips, okay? And we want to bring some movement to our hips. So like doing some hip circles, like just maybe doing a little shake, but bring some energy, bring some fire, bring some like, like some motion where, what do I want to call that? It's like right on the tip of my tongue, but like where something's like moving together. It's not coming to me, but yeah, just like bring some of that energy into your hips and moving them. You can stand, you can sit, but really just like awaken those hips. Just get that moving, get that energy moving in your hips. Okay, you might notice how your heart rate is starting to increase as that blood flow. It might be getting warmer. You might start feeling like you're perspiring, depending on what season it is. Go ahead and get those hips moving. All right. Now go ahead and stop and just notice what that sensation feels like. Just notice how the blood is flowing into the hips, into your hip flexors, behind your legs, on the side of your hips. Beautiful. Now just notice where this sensation wants to go. Like if you were to lean back a little bit, lean forward, just kind of like play with this sensation and see where it wants to move. If this energy, this sensation wants to move up, or if it wants to move down your legs. Just allow it, just notice where it goes on its own. just notice how playful this energy is and how excited it is and how it feels kind of good. You know, it's a pleasurable sensation. And how far can it go? How far down can it go? Down your legs? Does it go over your knees? Can it go to down your legs to your ankles? Like, how far does this sensation want to go down? And moving up, does it want to go up your spine, up your torso, your ribs? Just notice how this playful sensation moves. All right. Now I want you to bring your awareness to like your hands or your arms, or like what is something that like a posture or a not a posture, but like a way that you hold yourself that feels really comforting. Like this is something that you do all the time. Elise taught me this, and oh my gosh, it's like so incredible. For me, since I was a kid, I've always like put my hands together and put them in between my legs, in between my thighs, and that's like a really comforting space for me. But what's something that you do that's really comforting, like crossing your arms or putting your hands on your legs? Go ahead and get into that like familiar, cozy, comforting, like safe space, and just notice. Just drop into what that feels like, to feel supported, to feel safe and comfortable. Just really feel into those sensations. What does that feel like in your body? Where do you feel it? Do you feel it in your arms, your hands? Beautiful. All right. And then I love this word. And then your yoni. I don't know. I love that word. It just makes me like giggle. It feels so powerful. So thinking about your yoni right now, like tapping in, noticing. Does she feel open? Does she feel constricted and tight? And what would it feel like to, if you're feeling tight, like what would it feel like to tighten even more? Like even more, just tightening your yoni, clenching. And if you're open, what would it feel like to like expand and open wider, open your hips, let your belly just fall forward, like really opening your hips, opening your yoni, allowing your stomach to just rest gently. And then just play around with the two. What would it feel like to just like squeeze your yoni, squeeze your legs, your hips so tight, and then just release. And just notice what that sensation feels like. Just notice like the pleasure and the comfort. Beautiful. Now this sensation, can you imagine, like you might want to go back into that comforting space, or like bring your hands down by your hips or your thighs, and just start to notice like what the texture of your clothes feel like on your palms of your hands, on your fingertips. Your bare skin. What does your bare skin feel like on your fingertips? Just allowing yourself to like melt into that. Beautiful. And something else that I feel that no one talks about, and again, I had a session with Elise and we talked about this. She really changed my life when she told me about this. But you know, when you're feeling into this, there's like that nurturing feeling, right? Like when you had your babies and you're holding your brand new baby, like just how good it feels, how nurturing, how like feminine you feel. You're in flow. There's nowhere else to be with that but with that baby. Just noticing all of the details, their little hands, wrapped around your finger, all of those details. And the thing that I want to bring up is that, like, our children have this sensuality. It's like a part of them. It's a part of being a kid. It's that joy. It's like it's like their vitality. It's their life force, right? And it feels so strong. And there's been times where like I'm around my kids, I'm trying to get them ready, and all of a sudden I start to feel this like sensation of like this sensual sensation, and it freaks me out because I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I feeling this like sensual feeling around my kids? And I would immediately like shut it down because I felt like, oh, I'm like a pervert or something. Why am I feeling this way? And Elise pointed out to me that like I am feeling this vitality and this like life force and this joy, and they are a reminder to tap into that. And so I offer that to you because I know that that is something kind of taboo and people aren't talking about that. And gosh, I can't be the only one that feels that way. And so when you're doing something and you're in go, 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 and your kids come up to you and you feel like just burdened by it, realize that this is a moment where like your world is asking you to tap back into that, like that sensual, flowy aspect of yourself, okay? So I don't know if this is the most appropriate time to bring that up, but it felt right. So I hope that resonates with you. But yeah, so right now you should feel really open and flowy, and you can continue to move with this. Your fingertips are, oh my gosh, they are so connected, right? They are connected to your like pleasure source, right? Just like your womb is connected to your mouth and your jaw. And so if you're feeling really tight, you want to loosen the jaw, massage the jaw, let it go, let the lips go. And like if you're having any tension up here, this is a reflection of this womb space down here. And something that I do every single morning is I start off my day by dancing, and not to like some choreography, but something that makes me feel really good, where I can move my hips and like get into that flowy state. And it's a lot easier to maintain like this state of being in flow when I start my day off every day off like that, versus like being in lack and having to like recultivate this every time. And so that's why I choose to do that. And so I offer that to you to, come back to this practice, or to find your own practice where you can like really tune into this sensation and just be in flow. And then going back to how I started this video, when you're going about your day and you're doing, stop and just take a moment and notice what you're doing. Be very present. Notice that like I have my purse right here and some other things. But like before I put my purse on, like just noticing these vibrant colors, just running my fingertips over it and just feeling into the fabric and allowing my yoni to be open. And that's one way that you can notice in your day. It's like, are you feeling clenched or are you feeling open? And that's a good identifier for you. Okay. Um, what else do I want to say about that? Oh, yeah, just keep expanding your capacity to hold this energy. Um, because this is you. This is the real you holding this space, this sensual part of you, right? How are you feeling? How are you feeling after this practice? I'm so excited for you to go about your day and just see how this impacts things. Thank you so much for joining me.